kids. Welcome to Blooming in a Cage. As you can see, I'm in a different studio and there's somebody else with me.
Hello.
Our green screen's acting up tonight, so we're just going to ignore that and any other crazy things that might happen because a lot of stuff is. Listen, I'm going to try to get the spare room studio set up to have guests, and she's not right now, but we're working on it. And if you're here and you're in the chat, say hello to us. As you can see, I'm here with my friend Bianca Parker.
Hello.
I don't want to really like ignore that she's not here, but I'll chat with you in a minute, Bianca. Okay? That's what we'll say that. I don't want to miss the fact that we as a nation need to pray for Charlie Kirk and his family. He tragically lost his life, and I will probably get hate mail, but Charlie was a patriot. That is my opinion. He has brought civil conversation back to the media and to campuses and ignited political talk and among college students and young people and high schoolers and even those that live in my house. And that no matter what side of the fence you are on, having young people that love their country and want to serve their country and want to see it boom and have the economy. I kind of placed Charlie Kirk along with kind of what happened, which we were just discussing how old Bianca is. She's younger than me, but I equate it to the Reagan era. When Ronald Reagan was running for office. It's the first real presidential election that I remember. That was a really long time. Bianca's going, wow, you're old. No. When President Reagan ran for office, they actually called it Reagan Nations, and there was a lot of people who went to the polls for the first time as seniors and in college that weren't voting. Prior to that, they weren't involved in politics, and I think that's what Charlie Kirk and others like him has done. They've ignited politics into a generation that were not involved before, which is why we saw unprecedented numbers of people, no matter what side of the parties you were on, going independent or right or left, going to the polls this year and talking and debating and showing up on college campuses. And I think that he did it in a way that was respectful. A way that he just wanted to bring respectful conversation about the issues that our nation and today has taught us something is that we need to have more conversations like that so that we have things like this get avoided. And we need Jesus. That's what I'll say. We need Jesus in this nation. And we need more men like Charlie Kirk. So pray for his wife and his sweet babies tonight and their family and for all of those people that were there. And I saw something today that said, of course, we had the other stabbing that happened in Charlotte on I think it was a train, or maybe it was a bus. Anyways, it was tragic. And somebody said that, we were not built to see those kinds of things. And unfortunately, I was thinking today, like JFK when he got shot, like that was so tragic and it kind of lives, but that's nothing compared to the kind of footage that unfortunately now lives forever, that we weren't meant to see, or we shouldn't see. But it kind of lives. So let's pray for those people that are affected. But enough about me chit-chatting. Bianca Parker's here with me in the chat. If you're here in the chat, I see my son Riley, who looks like he signed in on. Riley, why are you saying hi on 2 accounts? What's wrong with you? You trying to get more views on your channels? He's going to be like, Mom, I can't believe you said that. So we're not in the spare room studio, and I am here with Bianca, and I actually have known Bianca's husband longer than I've known her. We met a couple years ago when I said, how did Adam, and I'm going to say this because he was just giving me crap on the phone, so I hope you're listening, Adam. He was like, I don't care about you, Robin. So I'm like, when I saw Bianca, I thought, hi, Brian. I know you are my brother. But I don't want to talk to you because he's on vacation. He's in Florida right now at Disney World.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And we're here.
Come on.
It's fine. It was 48 here this morning, Brian. So I hope you're happy.
Take us with you next time. Come
Yes,
on now.
He would. He likes big trips.
Yeah.
I will say that. He likes
me
big
too.
trips.
Let's go.
But when I met Bianca or saw Bianca for the first time, I said, how did Adam Parker land a girl like her? Wow, that's what I said. I said, he is. I did. The scripture says when you find a wife, you found a good thing. And I think that's what he did. He found a good thing.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, there's lots of people in here tonight. Oh, you're on my brother's computer. Oh, so I see. That's actually my dad. So on my brother's computer, I got it. I follow along. I thought to myself, Brian is not missing fireworks right now to stream into my podcast. I don't think he's ever been here. Hello, Alberta. Hello, husband. So I'm here with Bianca Parker, who, like I said, I've known her husband Adam. He used to come to my house and eat chocolate covered pretzels. Does he still like those?
No,
Oh, really?
no.
Well, I don't know.
he's all about keto now. And,
Oh my gosh, he's healthy.
sugar-free
Well, that
stuff.
was not him in high school. Let me tell you, pre-Marines.
Yeah, really.
Him and Michael McCosker and
Yeah,
Henry used to come
yeah.
and eat a pile of food and
The
hang out in my
ham.
house. The ham.
ham,
Yeah, the
yeah,
ham. And
yeah.
house sit for me, my cute dog that I showed you earlier.
Yeah.
I let them take care of him. I don't know how my house is still standing, but so how
Yeah.
long have you and Adam been married?
For a year now.
For 1
Our
year.
anniversary is actually coming up
Oh,
on October
cute.
3rd. Yeah, it's actually
Yeah,
crazy
so-
to think about.
Yeah. So I've known the
Yeah.
Parkers my whole life.
I'm so sorry. Sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. Love you guys.
Your father-in-law John grew up on my parents' couch.
Yeah,
That's what
wow,
I'll say.
wow.
I was their flower girl.
Oh,
So I am well connected with Bianca's family, although her and I are just getting to know each other really well. And I saw Bianca made a post on social media, and I was like, wow, I think I want to talk to this girl and see what she's about. And just so you guys know, I'm going to look at her, not you. I mean, you're cool. I will check the comments, but hello, Rebecca Cakeley. She's watching. I think she's not deployed right now. She's usually in Virginia, but sometimes Rebecca watches us from a ship in the middle of nowhere
wow.
at an undisclosed location like us tonight at undisclosed she is.
That's cool.
It is
cool.
cool. It is very cool. And soon she's going to be a Master Chief. I'm speaking into being. She's like, oh my gosh, I
Nice.
can't believe you say that. She's working on it. She's
If
not
you
there
need a
yet.
guinea pig, I
Yeah,
know.
she's not
I know
there.
someone.
She's not there yet.
Yeah.
So I invited Bianca here because she has a unique story. She was adopted from Romania. Yes. And she's going to share a little bit of that story with us tonight. And we're really close. You can't see how close we are, but
We're
like
really
I'm
close.
practically sitting on her lap right
Good thing
now.
I took a shower and put deodorant
Yes.
on,
It's true. She did take a shower before she came. I know. I could see. She's freshly bathed. Unlike me, I was at food pantry all day and tried to fall on Rubbermaid containers.
It's all right. You smell good.
They're very sturdy. In case you were wondering, Rubbermaid containers, they're like a Timex watch. They can take a beating and keep on ticking. Because I fell on one today.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I laughed too. After I realized I wasn't dying and everything was still where it was supposed to be. That's what happens when
You're a
you're
good
old.
sport.
When you fall down. Hey, listen, you're either gonna cry or laugh about it. That's what I'll say. And
Hey, it's okay.
I'm still
We're
standing.
both graceful. It's
yes,
all right. It's all
yes,
right.
great.
Yeah.
I named my daughter Grace because I didn't have any. I just was open.
I should be named
Yeah.
Grace, not Bianca.
Not Bianca.
Yep.
So Bianca's going to share her story tonight, and if you have a question, or you just want to, the Red Sea. Oh boy, awesome! I wasn't sure where you were, Cake, as I like to say it. Oh, she's home now, but she was in the middle of the Red Sea. I see here.
Okay,
I'm looking
yeah.
up. See what happens when you have your glasses?
Yeah,
You're like
right,
old. You're
yeah.
trying to get close to the screen.
Well, I actually need to update.
Hello, Barbara Page. So if you have a question and you want to pop it in, maybe I'll get to it. Maybe I won't. I'm not making any promises. So if you're like, you didn't read my question, that's fine. I didn't make any promises.
And if you have any questions, reach out to me, connect
Yeah.
with me. That's fine. I'm an open book. I got nothing to hide.
And I'm going to put all of Bianca's links onto the podcast page when we're done chatting here. But we're going to get into it. So you were adopted from Romania. So I bet we probably need to start at the beginning.
Yes. Yes.
Every story has a beginning, right?
Right.
So what's your beginning story?
So before I dug in and relearned about my story a little bit, dug deeper, I discovered that I was adopted when I was 3.5. And I came here June 6, 2001. I think that's right. And
It's
I was,
okay. They don't know if you're wrong.
Right. Right. And I was 3.5, and so that's what I learned before I learned everything now. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
That's okay. She's fine. I told her it's fine. No
Yeah.
worries. No worries.
But now that I've learned, so I was born in a hospital actually, and sorry, it's gonna get me a little bit.
That's why we got tissues.
Yeah. My biological mother abandoned me immediately, and I was immediately put on formula, and I was born breached. I was a healthy weight though. I was 7 pounds and 4 ounces. I believe.
Good size baby.
Yeah. And so
So you were born naturally breech.
correct.
So that was a difficult birth. Then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And actually, I have a whole binder right here.
She's
of
been
my
studying kids.
paperwork and everything, so it's just absolutely crazy. And I'm still going through it. So it's a process for sure. But yeah, so about 4 months later, I was in the hospital and I was just taken care of and everything else. My biological mother actually tried to have my whole family get together. So it's my parents were married
Mhm.
legally, and then it was my oldest sister Georgiana and myself. And my mother was trying to reconnect with my father at the time, and unfortunately, she and I were kicked out, like we were chased out of the village that
Mm.
my father, my grandmother Elena, and my sister were in.
Do you know why?
I don't know. I tried to ask my biological father that, and he said that the opposite of what she said about them.
So who knows?
So I'm
So
not
who knows?
sure.
So did you have tuberculosis? Because I know that's what you and I talked about.
Yes.
Was that initially?
So from what I gathered, she had tuberculosis,
Mhm.
and I contracted that from her
So when she left you the first time, you were being treated for tuberculosis.
the second time.
The second time.
Second
Okay,
time,
that's what
yes.
I
Yep.
wasn't sure if it was at birth because you can pass it in utero
Yes. Right.
also.
Right.
And tuberculosis is very common and in foreign countries with infants and just in people in general. I mean, it is something that you can find here in the United States. It's
Right.
not gone,
No.
but it is something. So I was just curious.
Yeah. It's not active. It's dormant in my body, so it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
it's
that's
not
good.
active, thankfully.
So she wanted to really try to have the happily ever after.
I think so. I want to believe that. I also have been told that she abused Georgiana and I as
Yeah.
well. She.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what she did, but it was inhumane, and I.
So you
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't.
Yeah. And I think that that's a common problem for people who have been adopted to not have all the pieces. And that's part of what the work that you've been doing.
Right.
This big notebook that you see here that's like a college education of
Yeah.
of trying to find those truths. Is that part of the reason you think you really went on this journey was because you wanted to know?
Yeah.
I think for a lot of adoptees, at least for me, it would be the like, where did I come from? Some of those questions that like for people who are born into a family and that's all you ever know, those kind of what ifs or I don't knows must just live there.
They do. They
Yeah.
do. And I think it's really, really important for every adoptee out there, nationally or internationally, or those that just have been in the orphanages and haven't had the opportunity to be adopted, to know where they come from.
Yeah.
Because even though we're grateful, even though we're blessed, we're very lucky. It's important that we deserve that space to know who and what we are.
Yeah.
We deserve to try and fill that void, that's been missing. It's like we're mourning something that's been missing.
It is.
Because
It is.
we always feel like we don't belong. We're, in my words, island of misfit toys.
Right,
That's how I felt anyway.
Yeah.
But we just deserve that space. We deserve to acknowledge our past and honor it and honor our biological family and
Yeah.
our mother and those
Your
that,
roots. Your
yeah.
roots.
those that gave us the gift of life. Yeah, we deserve
So
that.
your mom wanted to go for whatever reason, which you don't know the answers. She tried to go home
Yep.
with your father,
Mhm.
and it sounds to me something with grandma, and it could be that. I mean, dysfunction is that it's dysfunctional, and it doesn't really matter who did what, but it
Right.
didn't work.
Right. And so, although there was a lot of hurt and like abuse and stuff like that with my mother and my father too, she tried. And I've been told in my upbringing, "Oh yeah, aren't you mad with your biological mother?" And I said, "No,
Yeah.
I forgive her."
Yeah.
And I forgive her because I don't want to be held down with anger.
Yeah.
And sadness, because that doesn't define me. Sadness and anger doesn't define me.
Right. And your roots don't define you.
Correct.
That's just where you came from.
Although I'm proud for where I came from and just what shaped me for who I am today, but
Right.
it doesn't define me.
So let's get back on track. So
Yeah.
you went to your mom went home, then you got kicked out into the village.
Yep. And
Which I
then,
imagine Romania is not like. I mean, I can't imagine getting kicked out in the streets of Brattleboro, but like I can't imagine.
so think of like Mount Monadnock, or like the
Yeah.
tallest mountain you hiked on, even higher, and it's
Yeah.
just absolutely wild to be abandoned But unfortunately, she abandoned me back at the orphanage,
Yeah.
no, the hospital.
The
And then
hospital.
the hospital put me in an orphanage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what was that experience like? I mean, you were obviously little.
Yes.
You only know what you were told probably.
I actually remember a
Okay.
few things. I remember
Trauma has a way of doing that.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. So in my orphanage, it's called Mikul
Let me
Prince.
pull up. I'm going to pull up some pictures here. Okay. My dad said we're going to move the mic a little bit toward Bianca. Thanks, Dad. Oh, well. We don't like it there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just have you maybe scoot
Yeah,
the chair up a
sure.
little bit. Thanks, Dad. I'm going to pull up some pictures here while Bianca moves herself because we'll get into your story. So this is the orphanage that you were
Yeah.
in,
So
correct?
that is where the Child Protective Services, one of them is. It's in Brajov, and that's where my orphanage was, and it was really overpopulated. We were just crowded in our cribs back then, and we were tied against our beds. We weren't able to just have emotion or anything like that. And I was there for, well, I can't do the math right, but my foster mother had me when I was a year and 4 months, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were there at least a year,
Yeah,
probably.
A good
Yeah.
year. Yep. And so we didn't have the care, the
Which
love.
is very common.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we think of in the United States, orphanage are pretty much non-existent. We do have group homes. That's
Yeah.
that's the nice word that us in the United States like to use is group homes. But we were talking earlier, like you use the word DCF, but those kind of programs are not like globally all the same, right?
Right. They're
We have
all
all these
different.
we have all
Yeah.
these boxes that are checked for orphanages, I mean, for group homes, and they're usually state run and monitored really well, and
Yeah.
for the care of those types of things, and are funded for even the nutrition programs and all
Mhm.
those types of things, and
Mhm.
that's not necessarily true
With everywhere.
for
Yeah.
everywhere. So
Yeah.
your experience was that you were
Right.
not properly cared for,
Correct. Yep.
punished. I'm assuming verbally, physically.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
We were tied against our beds. We were punished for just needing to go to the bathroom. So in my upbringing, I actually had a big problem with that. So
Yeah.
it took a long time to train that. So yeah, and then I just kept rocking myself to sleep. I keep biting my fingers. That's one of the things. And yeah, so
Yeah.
that's just one of the many things we went through.
So you were there for a year, what a year and 4 months or something, and then you were how long were you in there?
So, well, I don't know actually, because I was found with my foster mother, and I was a year and 4 months
Okay.
by then.
Okay. So your foster mom took you when you were a year and 4 months.
Yes. Yep.
And then I have a picture here of your foster mom.
So, her name is Luminita Kostia. I absolutely love her. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for her or my papa. I call him
Yep. Here's
Miron. Sorry.
That's
Scusi.
okay.
They are my absolute rock, and like I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. They saved my life along with the Lord Himself. So, yeah.
So did they have other foster children?
I was their first one, and then
Okay.
after I was adopted, they actually fostered 2 other kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were saying that like in the United States, so like my experience, my brother has actually adopted 3 children out of foster care. But you were saying in Romania at that time, they weren't allowed to adopt children that they were
Correct.
doing foster care, which is weird to me, but I understand, that different people have different laws, but they wanted to adopt you,
Yes.
right?
Yes. They
Yeah.
definitely wanted to take
And
me in
that's sad.
immediately.
That's sad.
Yeah. But I'm still grateful, and
Yeah.
I'll always have a special place in my heart for them.
Well, and God had a plan, and He was orchestrating it.
Yeah.
And so your experience with them. Tell me a little bit about your experience with them.
So, actually, let me my foster mother actually wrote a really nice letter. It was like this big, and I absolutely just it's yes, thank you. So it's a little bit ripped apart, but this is like some sort of skin, and this is like the cover in the back. But I
It
still
disappeared.
have the original handwriting in my folder.
Beautiful.
But I actually have translated the letter.
Read it to us.
Might make me tear up a little bit.
That's
so.
okay.
It says, "My dear Bianca, today I brought you home, a beautiful, sweet girl. You cried a bit in the car. You were scared, but at home, next to my children, you calmed down. One by one, my relatives and neighbors came by, scared at home, by to see you, and everybody loved you. You liked to be held by anybody. You smiled at everything. You could not chew very well, so the food had to be soft. I put a croissant in your hand."
I love that. I love a croissant.
Me too. "And you did not know what to do with it. So, meaning I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know how to function as a child. I was also emotionless. I didn't know how to feel anything. I didn't know how to receive love. I didn't know how to love
So
to
sad.
others. Yeah. And I didn't know how to use the bathroom. I just didn't know how to do anything. So she had to reteach me how to be a baby, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then she said, you liked to be held by everybody. You smiled at everything. You didn't know what to do with it. Slowly, I showed you with my hands. We did this every day. You didn't know how to go to the bathroom. So we began to learn together. You were 1 year and 4 months. That was a mistake. You slept very well at night, and you always had a smile on your lips. You had an infection, and we were taking medicine. You were so understanding, even when you had to swallow pills. You were a very happy and pleasant child, though still a little unsure of yourself. You were afraid of geese and pheasants.
Are you still afraid of geese and pheasants?
So when I actually came here, my parents
Yeah.
here and I, we went to their good friend Judy and Harold's, and they had a rooster. And I thought I could be friends with that creature. Oh no, that damn thing.
No, roosters are not friendly.
So it chased after me, and like my whole upbringing, I would tell my mom, I have the big red chicken dream.
Big red chicken dream.
Yep.
I've had those.
So, yeah, but I have chickens now. So it's full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
You-
Yep. Where did I leave off?
Afraid of geese.
Yes. I pray that you would grow healthy and strong. After 2 weeks, I began to study you carefully. You ate very well, but everything had to be soft. You drank so much milk because, I was fed formula.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about food.
Yeah.
I gave you a little something to hold in your hand all the time, like a stuffed animal, I believe. And you learned to bite. You began to walk with confidence, even to run. You liked it when my children came home. So they have 2 kids named Daniel and Maddie. Should have sent a picture.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry.
It's
I
okay.
could see the infinite joy in your eyes. We walked together, and you would stretch out your hand to ask for mine. You learned the words Tata, Mama, Papa. We laughed with you, even as we mourned my father's passing. Though there was sorrow, you filled our home with joy. By July, I could already talk about you like a normal child. In the mornings, I gave you bread with butter and cheese, cut into tiny pieces. You picked them up one by one and ate them. You learned to go to the bathroom, and you were very happy with yourself. You loved to play in the yard and go in the slide in Brasov. You laughed so much, you weighed 13 kilos and asked for water, milk, and Bobo candy. In August, my little girl, you became like a princess. We put white flowers in your hair. You played with children. You danced, you sang, you had musical ear, and you showed us the parts of the body, eyes, nose, mouth, hair, and
So you were developing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You loved to be dressed beautifully. When I arranged your hair, you asked me for a mirror so you could see yourself. By the end of the month, you imitated everything, like a little monkey. You showed your tiny fingers when asked how old you were. You asked to dance when the vegetables sang on TV, so I think it's VeggieTales.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love VeggieTales.
You began to use the potty, and we went for walks together. In September, the children returned to school. and you laughed and enjoyed yourself among them, taking everyone by the hand. At kindergarten, I don't know if that's right. I'm just reading what
Yeah.
she wrote. You played and didn't want to leave. I think it was like a daycare.
Yep.
At the end of October, we took you to the hospital for more blood tests. You cried. Even my children cried. You were so dear to us. When we came home, it felt empty without you.
Mm.
In November, we went to see you 3 times a week. The moment you saw us, you recognized us. You knew our neighbors and called them by name. At the end of the month, we brought you home again. A big holiday for us. You wanted to talk so much, but the words were not all there yet. In December, on St. Nicholas Day, you gathered all the candy for yourself and didn't want to give it to anyone else.
Smart girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all mine. We made Christmas ornaments together. You loved to dance to music, pulling me by the hand. Mama, come dance. You were elastic and flexible, twisting and dancing like a little rabbit. At Christmas, you ran after snowflakes, catching them on your face. We dressed the tree together inside and out, and at night you sat by the window, listening to the carols. You pulled Santa's beard and laughed. Later, whenever we saw a man with a beard, you said, Santa Claus! We went sledding, and you tumbled in the snow. Crying with joy, we built a snowman. But when it melted, you went into the yard looking for it. Something sound like I would do. Yep.
Where'd it go?
I know. In January, my heart grew heavy. We found out that a family from America was interested in you. I knew this day would come, but I hoped it would be later. We got used to you. Sorry. And it would be hard to separate. Still, I began to prepare you. We taught you to count to 10 in English, to say, my name is Bianca. I told you that you would leave, and you answered calmly. I leave for America. You did not fully understand, but you said it with grace. Then came February, your birthday. You turned 3 years old. I baked a cake, invited children, and our family who loved you. You received so many toys. Sorry.
It's okay.
It was your whole world. You were 94 centimeters tall and weighed 15 kilograms. You were tiny with heavy cheeks, but strong. You spoke all day, took care of all the dolls I did with you, fed them, put them on the potty. You brought your shoes and hat to me, saying, let's go outside, Mama, let's go play. In March, we visited friends. You showed us incredible memory, leading me exactly where you wanted to go. You remembered everything. In April, we celebrated Easter. You loved breaking red eggs, laughing at the tradition. You became so clean, picking up crumbs with your tiny fists and throwing them away.
Don't you clean now?
I do.
She's a cleaner now.
Yeah.
So started early.
Right. You turned on the tap to wash your hands, and when I combed your hair, you ran into the mirror saying, oh, Mama, yuete. Oh, Mama, look what a beautiful girl. I prayed every day that your new family would love you more than we loved you. I did everything I could to raise you well and beautiful, but from now on, all I could do was pray for you. If one day we will read these lines, I want you to know that you stayed with us for a year and a month. And our names are Kostya, Marin, Luminitsa. Our children were Danielle and Madalina. We lived in Rojna, Praja, Romania. You were and are a good girl. Be good, my child. With love.
My husband said you're not crying. I'm crying.
Oh.
What a beautiful gift she was, huh? What a beautiful gift they were.
Words can't describe the love I've had for her and for all of them.
Because it could have been a different story for you. And when she says, that God gave her you to them, it was true because your life could have been different. You had tuberculosis. You were in an orphanage. Those are circumstances that were not promising. And
the Lord himself and him, they saved my life.
Yeah. They prompted them to open their home for the first time.
For the first time?
For the first time.
Yes, I was their first foster kid.
And I imagine that experience. And that's, I would say one thing that our foster care system does have right, that foster parents can adopt. Foster to adopt is so common. because it is so hard, as you can hear in her voice and her letter, that she was bonded to you.
Yes. So bonded.
So
Yep.
bonded, and that's still a true. When you were little, when you were adopted, but that bond is still there because she taught you the fundamental, and what a gift.
Absolutely.
And that's part of why I think what you've done is important, because that's part of adoptee stories too, are the in-between people in their lives, before they get to their forever homes. That can be, my dad has a similar story of someone who cared for him when his mom was gone for several years.
Yeah.
And it's an important person in your life.
Right.
And in your upbringing, teaching you how to eat and speak and clean yourself and clean.
Yes, right.
Your business now.
Right. Right.
So then you were put up for adoption.
Yes.
And that was out of the DCF program, right, with 2000, somewhere in the 2000s, right?
Yes. 2001.
2001.
Yep.
And you came here, and your mom gave up her rights of her own accord, or?
Yes. So in the court, it said that they sent a letter to both of my biological parents, but they didn't respond. So they said that once again, I was abandoned.
Yeah.
But
hard words to hear and read, right? Yeah.
Yep. So, but sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. And I think that's something why what you're doing is important for you, because some of those kind of abandonment feelings can last with adoptees for
For a long time, even lifetimes.
And I think not just people who go through adoptions, but people who have absentee parents who drop out of their lives. We're talking about people who are adopted, but complicated relationships with parents.
Yes. Yes.
is not just for people who have gone through adoption. Sometimes that's people whose parents just are not engaged or not involved, or have addiction problems. Like there's
there's so
gamut
many
of things.
Yep. And I'm not projecting, not projecting, but don't get me wrong. A lot of stories are beautiful, but there is also a lot of hard stories, and those deserve space. Those that have been through a lot of struggles deserve space, and they deserve to have the space to share their stories, because we are still people. It is our life. We deserve to just have our voices be heard. This is our life. This is what we went through. And it's a shame that a lot of people minimize our feelings. And because of that, we just feel so much more. And we've always been the outcasts, and it's just not fair. So I'm trying to...
I think there's a lot of people who, when you get adopted, it's like, well, you have... Like, people even say that in retrospect to my brother's story with his 3 adopted children. We're like, well, how many kids are their kids? It's like, well, they're their kids.
Right.
But that's like the projected thing. It's like that some people put on, and they don't maybe necessarily mean it. Like, they don't, when they say it, they don't understand what they're saying.
Sure.
They're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to understand.
Yeah. It's like when I have a friend that adopted a child of a different nationality than her, and they're like, well, who's her mom? It's like, well, I'm her mom.
Right.
Well, she doesn't look like you. It's like, well, okay. And that's hard, but it's an important space to have to say, this is my experience, and it's probably a lot of other people's experience. Right. So you were adopted by your family here in the United States and raised by them. Were they open that you were adopted? Like, did you know you
yes,
did? Okay.
They were. Yeah. Actually, so I've always loved having friends over or being with friends. And I always said to my parents, I want a sister, or I want a brother or something. Excuse me. And then they said, well, you do have a sister, and you're from Romania.
Oh, wow.
And so...
How old were you when you learned that?
Let's see, 2007?
Okay. So you were...
We were in Romania for the first time in 2009, so I was probably 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Yeah. Okay. So really just old enough to understand.
Right.
Probably.
Right. And I totally forgot to mention them. Valentine Nass and Mariana Nass, they have been a part of our whole lives, and they were agents that helped go to different orphanages to see which child is eligible to go to Romania.
Got it.
So my parents and them kept in contact to keep us updated with my family in Romania and to help us see them. So I also wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
So then you went to Romania. You were how old the first time you said?
9 years old.
9 years old.
Yes.
So that was a different type of trip, you said, right? You weren't, I don't think you quite had a grasp on.
No, I was really young, and that was my first time seeing my father and my sister.
Mhm.
And then after that trip, we actually went. My mother and I went back in 2011, and that's when I saw my mother for the first time. But both of those, yes, I was in the moment. It was still a lot. It was still both beautiful and also like just emotionally a lot.
But how old were you?
In 2011?
Yeah.
I was 13.
13. So you were a child.
Right.
I mean, that, you know, that's,
Yes. Yeah.
those are a lot of big emotions
Yes.
to hear someone, Mel Wise,
Oh,
saying hi to
Melise,
be
yeah.
on.
That's hey.
Um,
She's from Romania.
So, welcome to the chat. Those are a lot of big emotions to deal with for a 13-year-old,
Right.
and that must have been. So then you and Adam just went back.
This past July.
So let's look at some
Actually.
of those pictures. Those last July.
He actually, we did this together, but this was my wedding present from him.
Oh, beautiful.
It was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's look at some of these pictures. This is you and your mom.
So that's my biological mother,
I
Elena.
can tell you guys have similar
Yes.
facial structures.
Yep. So she is 52 years old.
Wait, don't say I could be your mom.
You know. And so we are actually Romani. I'm a Roma. And a lot of people, let me just get what I said, what I wrote down. So a lot of people get ethnicity and nationality wrong. Ethnicity wise, I am a Roma. Roma people and generations upon generations originated from India.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then nationally, I was born in Romania, but I was adopted in the United States. I do have, Romanian paperwork, birth certificate, and I have a CMP number. So, I'm sure I'm going to have some people say that, I'm not Roma or I'm not a Romanian, but I am.
Yeah.
Ethnicity wise, I'm a Roma. Nationally wise, I'm a Romanian.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so then we have here your. I'm trying to find a picture of your father. Nope.
That's one of them.
Yeah, that's your dad, right?
Yeah.
Where's that picture? See, here I am. I can't find it. That's weird. Okay, well, that's him there in the background.
That's okay. Yeah. So that's my father. He is 55, I want to say, and I know he looks a lot older. That's because of alcoholism. And the little sweet girl that I'm holding, that's my second niece, Deanna. She is so sassy. I love her, and she's such a love. All the kids are, and I'm so proud for how they grew.
And this is your dad's mom, correct? So this would be your grandmother.
Yes, this is also Elena, my dad's mother. Yep.
Common name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Common name. It's like John or Michael here, right? Yeah.
Right. Unfortunately, she has dementia, so she didn't remember who I am, but she said that I remember. I could see the resemblance.
What does this say? No, that's it.
No.
Oh, that's weird. Looks like so. This computer is all sorts of wacky. Here it is. So that's you and your sisters, right?
Yes. So those are my two little sisters. I haven't seen them since 2011. They were born in 2009, and it's actually funny. They have the same. Well, they have the birthday the day before my husband's, which is absolutely wild to me. And they were just babies back then, but they are my biggest testimony right here. I didn't know if anything happened to them after seeing them. We were with my biological mother, and 2 years later, my mom told me that they were in foster care, but I didn't know anything more than that. So I didn't know if anything were to happen to them, but I kept hoping and praying that they were okay, that they were loved, that they were cared for. And my oldest niece, Daria, she found them on Instagram this past March, and we were connected. The minute I saw Valtanu, that's my original last name, their last name, I'm like, wait a minute, who is this? And I just put the pieces together, and I just absolutely.
So are they in foster care now?
They're in a private orphanage.
Okay.
It's like a multi-family orphanage because they've been international adoption the year that I came here.
Wow. Wow.
but yeah, I know.
Crazy.
Yes. Well, so there was Romania was under communism
Yeah.
for about 25 years. Women were forced to have at least 5 babies, and if they weren't, they had like X amount taken out of their paycheck.
So the opposite of China.
Correct. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Wow.
And so the aftermath of that, even just decades after, there was the baby boom, and the orphanages were just completely overpopulated with abandoned babies, and
Wow.
that's why we also
Tragic.
were treated with
Right, because of the overpopulation.
correct, and
Really.
we lived in inhumane, not even how animals should be living in.
Right.
Yep.
Terrible.
Yep.
So
they-
it really was a God rescue story that you were even able to get adopted out
Yeah.
of Romania, and be where you are now.
Yeah.
That his hand was on you and had something
right.
to do.
And I'm very grateful, and I'm very lucky and blessed.
Blessed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel says here, oops,
Buna.
I don't know what that means, but
Hello. It means hello.
oh, hello. Okay, you would think the U.S. would learn from this. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wayne says, yes, we are old enough to be your parents. That's fine. We're not going to talk about this. My brother here, Andy, says here, the hardest stories can be the most beautiful outcomes. It's true. So what would you say, Bianca, are your emotions that you've kind of walked through seeing these that your parents signed these papers and gave up their rights and
My biological
yeah,
parents.
yeah.
And how I feel about
Yeah.
that.
Or that what did you walk through? I mean,
Oh.
you know, because where you are now might not be where you were.
Yeah. So, I was adopted and everything. Actually, I'm frozen at the moment.
That's okay.
No, I want to say that I had a pretty good upbringing. There was definitely a lot of challenges for sure. And my biggest thing was in my school careers, all of them, most of them. Yes, I had good friendships, but at the same time, I was really heavily bullied.
Yeah.
I was treated like an outcast, so I've always gravitated myself towards those that are special needs because, in a way, I understand.
Yeah.
A lot of adoptees, they're looked at as normal people, but we're just wearing a mask because we're just fighting a war every single day for what is truly going on internally.
And I think one thing that you and I chatted about the day we talked about that I think highlighted it good for me is you were talking about not being held as an infant,
Correct.
not being cared for. And some of those things I think we take for granted that like if that was your experience, it has a lasting impact on you. Those formative years, those first few years of your childhood,
They are so crucial, especially for
for
the
your
first.
attachment
Yes.
style.
Yep.
And and how your attachment style, how you're treated as an infant impacts all of your relationships. And I think you've done a lot of work.
Yes.
That's
I'm
my opinion
still
is Bianca's
doing
done a lot of work,
Still doing that.
but she has done a lot of work. And I think that those are things that people don't talk about is trauma that's done to infants and
Yes.
children in their formative years has lasting impacts into adulthood.
Right.
And I think that that's why it's so what you're doing is not only good for you and someday, I'm not saying anything, Adam, someday for your children, right? But that's why, because you're taking things that will impact generations in your family life and
Right.
saying the things that I experienced, my children, my grandchildren will not, my nieces and nephews won't experience. And
Exactly,
I know
yeah.
your nieces and nephews are beautiful.
Yeah.
And you got to pass love them now. So
Absolutely, yeah.
But those kinds of things that you won't let other people experience in your life, and why I think why you're passionate to have other adoptees, and I think other adopted parents to understand, because I think that's a piece of it, and you have had support
Yeah.
for that. But some people's experience might not be support,
Correct.
and it might not even be necessarily not support, but not understanding.
Right.
Because like as a parent, you go, well, I gave you everything you needed.
Yes. Right.
Why are you going to look for something else? And
Right.
I think that that's to understand that it's not that I had lack from you.
It's
but I-
not that we're not thankful or blessed. We are very thankful. We just want to find our identity, who we came from.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting, but the culture that I find in just America is I'm fine. I'm fine. Like, I'm okay. And a lot of Americans just don't invite the idea that it's important to talk about mental health. Yes, that is very popular today, but it's really important to heal and to forgive repeatedly, not just one time, but throughout your life, and those that hurt you, because you're just going to be brought down. That's going to define you. That is going to come up in ways that you never thought would come up. And it's not fair for the generations ahead of you. It's important to work on your, well, a lot of people would say baggage. It's not baggage. It's real life situations that really hurt people. And there should be a lot of work because it's not fair for the future kids. It's not fair at all.
And it's not just your kids, but your relationships with other people.
Other people. And
I mean, your
situations.
attachment style is really formed. Once upon a time, I was a child care provider, and I did a deep dive studies on attachment styles because attachment styles is just really about how you receive and give love.
Mhm.
That's what that is.
Right.
And that's formulated from the moment a child is born.
Mhm.
You know, children that are born in a traumatic way, even if it's like you were born in a traumatic way, actually.
Yeah.
But like, and lots of different.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
You got a big bag,
Yeah.
a big basket full of traumatic.
Some humbling moments.
Yes.
Yes.
But those things affect every relationship, and they actually even affect your relationship with God. Because if you have this kind of complicated attachment style, and then here you have God, who's you're supposed to be your father and is supposed to be expressing love to you, and that is not an area that you've been healed in,
Right.
that can have lasting impact on your relationship with God.
Absolutely. I mean, so I grew up Catholic, but I've always felt like I had a Christian heart. But for a long time, throughout my teenage years, I was in a really dark place. I was angry. I was full of hatred. I didn't believe in the Lord. I really didn't. I'm like, Lord, why, if you existed, why am I going through this? All of that. And I was suicidal 10 times.
I think it's very common.
Yeah.
But one thing you're talking about is talking about it. And there's a lot of shame put around mental health and not talking about it.
Right.
Like that, I'm fine American, but it is really popular because people are afraid I'm the only one. What are people going to receive? And that's just
It's
not true. It can be true because humans are terrible.
right.
We've seen that today play out in the news that humans are terrible, but not every human's terrible.
Right. I
You know.
mean, it's important to be vulnerable, but I understand how scary it is. I mean, I'm definitely nervous, I'll be honest, but you know what? I want to share, and hopefully this will help someone.
Here she says, Mel says here. I have trauma even at 28, lifelong struggles due to neuro damage and brain
Yes.
development.
Yeah.
Very true. And then she says here, those adopting children, Romanian children should take trauma-informed classes. I actually think that should be true
I
of
agree.
anybody adopting any child
Mhm.
because, and she's proud of you.
Thank you.
That's, I think
proud of you
that's
too.
true of anybody adopting a child should have an understanding that there's trauma.
Absolutely.
Here in the United States, the trauma that most children that are in foster care that are being adopted are dealing with is due to narcotics.
Yeah.
That's a very popular. Most
It
of the
is.
children, especially here in Vermont, we have, I think it's something like 1,400 children in the foster care program, and a good number of them are dealing with some sort of opioid withdrawal due to their parents, the babies at least.
Mhm.
And those have lasting effects forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Even when you do the work, it hurts.
And some of them have permanent physical lasting
They do.
things. And I think that's why it's important for more people to share their stories, even if, what do they say, like speak even if your voice shakes, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
To see, that's okay. And I think that's important. So what we're almost out of time, Bianca. Can you believe it?
Gosh, it's crazy. Yeah.
Why is it that you want to share this story?
I'm just gonna read.
Yeah.
So Some adoptees were mistreated by families who adopted for the wrong reason, even financial benefits. That is shameful. We are not prophets. We are people, God's children. And to those who did this, you may have been pretended heroes, but you were not. I forgive you, and I will not forget. Every child deserves dignity and truth. And I want to have other adoptees, regardless of their situation, whether it's, definitely a beautiful story and or those that were more humbling, to know that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to still be happy. It's okay to feel all the emotions. It's okay. Like it's not a shame to feel any of those. And it's okay to stand your ground and share your truth. And if you're in a dark spot, you're not alone. God is with you. Even if you're in doubt, it will get better. This is not your life forever. And just believe in yourself, believe in the Lord, and it'll get better.
I so appreciate you sharing the story, Bianca,
Thank
because
you.
I think that there's countless other people that will relate to it. And you have said that you have forgiven your mom and your dad. And I think that that's such a huge part because that's for you.
Yeah.
And I think that that's such an important thing that a lot of people go, well, they abandoned me and they don't deserve my forgiveness. And, and even if your parents didn't abandon you in the same way that happened to Bianca, where she was literally left at an adoption, at an orphanage, but many people's parents abandon them emotionally or physically because they're drunk in a bottle or, there's lots of ways that abandonment happens.
Right.
And forgiveness is actually for you.
Right.
It's not for the other person. And the thing is, I think a lot of people will say they don't deserve my forgiveness, right? That's the thing that, I'm never forgiving them because they don't deserve it. But the thing that I always remind myself is that God forgave me and I didn't deserve to be forgiven.
Right. Same here.
I didn't deserve to be forgiven, but he did because he loved me. But for us as humans, when we forgive because it's better for me.
Yes, we let go of what's holding us down.
Otherwise, it would just be sitting around a weight, heavy.
Yes.
The what ifs, the reliving. How many of you guys have ever been angry at somebody? You just relive the story over and over again, right? And it just makes you, it's like you start talking about somebody that wronged you, and your blood pressure starts raising, and you get red in your face, right? And you start plotting their death, or whatever, and that's part of the sad part of not forgiving somebody is it really only hurts you.
Right. And if you are just so angry at all these people that hurt you, it affects everything and everyone, even with your kids. Like if there's an elephant in the room and it's awkward, it's because you need to work on it. It's because you got to talk it out and or just forgive them because you're just holding yourself back. You're holding the potential relationship with that person.
And I think one thing that you have understood, which is obviously this is your story, right? We're not going to say this is not everybody's story. This is Bianca's story, and your story might look different than hers. Is you, I think, have realized that you don't have all the story of what was going on with your mom and your dad and your grandmother, and that there's pieces
that are missing.
Yeah. And so you don't know really some of the stuff that led to them giving you up.
Right.
But your mom had other choices.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a really important part. One of the common things is sex trafficking with children.
Yep.
She probably, living in a poverty-stricken country, she could have, in a poverty-stricken situation with a estranged husband, she could have made choices very different.
Sure.
Like you were talking about people who adopt children for profit. There are people who buy children.
Yes.
That's something that we don't like to talk about as Americans, right?
Because it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Right.
But that could have been your story had your birth mom made a different.
And I'm so grateful.
So regardless of what happened, she did give you life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And we honor that, and we bless her for that.
Yes. I actually said to both my mother and my father, I love you, I forgive you, and thank you for the gift of life.
And what a weight that must be off of you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
To go,
oof, right.
Yeah. I mean, that's what that literally feels like is, whew, that's gone from me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you so much,
Thank you so
Bianca,
much.
coming on.
I appreciate it.
If you guys have any questions for Bianca, I'm going to put up, she actually has a YouTube channel. I'm going to put it up
Yeah.
on my page, and you guys can reach out. You can reach out to me, and I can connect you with her if you're somebody watching. You go, I don't even know who this person, Bianca Parker, is. You can reach out to me. But most of all, I want you to know that if you're adopted and you don't know who your parents are and you're interested, don't be afraid to go down that road if you feel like you need to. It can be scary, and a lot of times somebody's fear of is repercussions from their parents, their adopted parents. But do it for you. And there's lots of ways. Man, we have the technology now.
It's crazy.
We have the crazy technology to connect people, and we also have those things called DNA tests and all sorts of things that you can find lots of information about yourself.
Right.
And I would encourage you to do that because your story matters. Your friend Mel says
Yeah,
here,
she's-
reach out to Elena. Is that
Yeah,
your friend?
Alina.
Alina.
Yep.
Nice. Veronica says, you're an amazing young woman. Bianca, I
you.
believe that God is pleased with you for sharing. I agree.
Thank you.
Because I think that there's lots of people that are going to relate to that. And boy, I'm going to know how to speak Romanian by the end of this show.
Yeah.
I was telling Bianca earlier, I went on one mission trip, and I only learned how to say how much is the beer and where's the bathroom. That was all. It was
Yep.
really important stuff, and I don't even like beer. So
Only este la baie and bire is how you say that in
Oh.
Romania.
oh, she's going to teach me. I'll be able to ask where the beer is.
Yeah.
My mom is going to be so proud. I'm just kidding. I don't even like beer, Mom. So I was just to stick it to my youth leaders at the time. Thank you guys for hanging out
Thank
with
you
us for
so
the
much
year.
for giving me the space and
Absolutely.
time.
It's been my pleasure. You
Thank
did a good job.
thank you.
You didn't even bawl that much. It was great. You kept it together.
Yeah, I'm
It's fine.
surprised.
Like Andy said, some of the hardest stories are the most important ones. And more conversation. When I started this podcast, I started it because I was at a place in my life that I didn't have a whole lot of hope. I was in a dark place. I felt like I was trapped in a cage, trying to get out like a caged
Living in
animal.
a cage.
And God had something that happened in my life that He wanted to produce fruit out of. And I think that your story is proof that you can be caught in something and not know how to get out, but fruit can still be produced. And
Right.
I believe, Bianca, that God's going to use you to share the stories. She's a beautiful photographer. So if
Thank
you
you.
need someone to take some cute pictures of you,
Actually,
I'll-
that's what I'm hoping to do is
I-
document your story and be a photojournalist. So if you or you know anyone that's an adoptee or that's been a part of adoption, feel free to reach out, and I would love to. I would
She
be
should
honored
go.
to document your story.
She takes some beautiful pictures I've seen, and it's getting to be fall in New England.
Oh my
Everybody wants to
gosh,
get
I
fall
love it.
pics at the
Yes.
apple
White girl
orchard.
season.
White girl season, get your pumpkin spice and your Uggs on, and call Bianca, and she'll take some pictures of your beautiful family out in the apple orchard. And I just want to go get apple cider
Me
donuts.
too. Yes, right.
I did actually this week. They're really good. Green Mountain Orchard. They have the
I
great.
might go get some tomorrow.
They have some great ones. They pipe them out hot in the machines.
So
And my
good,
son
so
Riley
good.
said they didn't have it this when we went up on Monday, but they had apple cider slushies. They have a slushy machine. I don't know. They make
What?
slushies. I don't know.
We might need to go.
Yeah,
on a
I
road
know.
trip tomorrow.
Road trip.
Tell 'em, yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to sign off. Remember that God loves you and He has a wonderful plan for your life. He had a plan for Bianca's life. It didn't look like maybe what she had envisioned in her mind, but God had a plan for his life, and He has a plan for your life. And that's to prosper and to live. Have a
Thank
great
you
night.
so much. La vedere.